So, but do you get where I'm going with this and
I
whatnot?
do.
You were not afraid to put yourself out there, no matter
Maybe a
how
little too much to
well,
an extent
well,
with
but it only helped you to at least create some sort of legacy for yourself in terms of an art
well,
form.
it's interesting because with bands, maybe they have no problem getting themselves out there because they're in their element, but like having to do a presentation in front of a couple people or something like that, you might not want to do that, or maybe you have to take a test or anything like that. And then there's something actually in, I never played football, but there's this incredible coach, I think of Alabama, his name's Nick Saban, and it relates to real life because he's getting his players ready for the draft, and he says there's two types of people. You can either be an and person or a but person, but. So he explains what and person is. An and person is, when we're going to talk about football, right? Hey, Tanner's got great ball skills. He's strong. He's a good teammate, and he gets straight A's in the classroom, and he's the hardest worker, and whatever. Okay. And he has a great relationship with his parents. Okay. Great guy overall. You name that same player. Okay. Great ball skills. Tanner's, great and strong, but he got in a fight at a bar, freshman year. But this is my favorite. This is what the coach says. It's on the Will Kane podcast thing. He put it on. But the trainer wouldn't piss on him even if he was on fire. So it got me thinking, like, and I played baseball, was in bands, and my way was just like being a good player, on the field. But hey, would I rake up the mound, or like would I take care of my stuff? There was people like that would make the team that would just hung out after the practice and cleaned the stuff up because no one else would do it. So the point is, make yourself like better. Like treat life like an interview. Like every person you see, like try try to get them to want to talk to you again, because each person thinks they're the great, like, I think I'm the greatest person ever. Why should someone, you know, let me grace my presence with someone else? When you flip that, like, how can I spend a couple minutes talking to this person? How can I add value to their life? How can I just be engaging, have a high level conversation with them? So just trying to make yourself better so that like people, like, it's like what you're doing, people like want to help you. Like you're a positive dude. People know you're not going to screw them over,
That's
you
not what
know.
my intention is ever. Let me ask you
But I
this
love it.
to go off of your point, though. There are people that are afraid to even do that, though. They make excuses. I call them
Mhm.
anchors, but they have too many anchors on their ship that are floating out there.
True.
They use excuses to hold themselves back from achieving their maximum potential, as I'll call it.
I love that.
And what I always noticed is, yeah, I have some flaws too.
We all do.
I'm not 100%. I'm
You
still
hide, you hide
climbing.
them very well,
Still,
dude. You
still,
hide them very well.
I appreciate it, but I'm climbing. What I always say is I'm still climbing. I'm still getting there. So no matter how many compliments I'll get, which again, it's you guys talking, and thank you for this, but see, there's my butt there. There are people that really love my way of interviewing people and whatnot, but I still think I'm s- I'm still getting there. Like I haven't achieved that, and think striving to become that every day only betters you. Like only working on not only your weaknesses but your strengths as well, and articulate. Like I need to work on my articulation as far as word choices and things like that. So maybe I need to see a vocal
You
therapist
need
or
to do ninth grade again.
yeah, exactly. There you go. There you go. Right. But in
So do I.
saying
I need
that
to do.
though, is I'm not afraid to always become a better version of myself.
Yeah.
And I get it that people are afraid of doing that. And it goes back to putting yourself not being afraid to put yourself out there.
Well,
in the
what do you
world.
think would give people more confidence? Because it seems like you understand it. Because
I think
people are maybe afraid.
I think
Are they
from
afraid of doing the work? But I think it is a habit. Like you gotta try. You gotta want to be better. Maybe it is. You know what? For me, I had to look in the mirror. I had to see like who is this person I see? Is this like who I want to be? Who do I want to be? And it started with I want to like meet someone, and then if they ever say like if they knew me, they would just be like, yeah, DJ Gunderson is just like a good guy, a man. You know, like it just help you out. Even if I don't know how to do it, I'll try to help you. You know, like someone just that doesn't cause any harm in the world. You know, just if I could start with that, and then. So sorry, I think I want to ask you your thoughts on
I
giving someone but I think it's confidence in that if you're good at something and you practice, you're not going to be afraid. There is nothing to be afraid of.
my whole thing is I'm not afraid to fail. I fail every day in order to succeed. I've always
I
had
love
that
that.
in the back of my mind is you can't succeed without failure. You can't be afraid to fail.
Agree with that.
We're going to fail.
Yeah.
Everybody fails.
Do you ever play baseball? That's where
I played t-ball and it was
you went
awful.
to school with Nolan Arenado. How do you not? You should be a fan. I'm sure you could hit him up, get him on here. That would be so cool.
It would be cool.
Nolan Arenado. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Well, you know what's
No,
funny?
but
I remember not. I would see him around school, and I
no, really.
I have met I've met him. Obviously, he came into my high school, but he's a guy that not only right place, right time. You can't not say that as well, right? He was in the right place at the right time with his hard work. A coach scouting saw him, and obviously that he worked hard to get to.
Yeah, it's
the
hard to
MLB.
get signed, but then that's the next part is working in that system to make it. That's where they weed out a bunch of dudes. Like, but yeah, that's interesting. You say that sure there is some
Beyond our
luck,
control.
timing. Yeah,
beyond
sure.
our control, which you said there are things.
Yeah.
This is one of them
Mhm.
where it's right time, right place. And
he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Like baseball guys are gonna be like, do you know who you're talking about? He's like arguably, literally, you honestly, dude, he could easily be debated as the greatest third baseman of all time. Like
that's a huge achievement.
It's like
dude.
Babe Ruth status, on that. Like he'd be on Babe Ruth's team. That's 100 years. So I just think it's so fascinating that technically you know this guy.
Yeah, I've met him. I've met him a lot of times, but we never thought that people like that could get to that level.
Absolutely.
And
and you're a dude that's like, hey, that's great, good for you. Not like, why isn't that me? I'm like, I deserve it.
Well, here's
or do you struggle with that? That's the human element of being happy for someone else's success. Does that make sense?
Yes. And where let me branch off of here real quick.
Yeah.
And you can agree or disagree.
No, of course.
If you can't be happy for other people's success, nobody's going to be happy for yours.
That actually makes a lot of, that would have helped. That would have
so if you can't be
saved
happy
me a few
for
years.
well, if you can't be happy for your friends' successes, then when you succeed, they're not going to be happy
and then you'll be like, oh, they're not like giving me props for it. Well, you weren't happy for them. Did you say like congratulations on anything? Well, baby, that makes a lot of sense, Tanner. I mean, I like that a lot. I
appreciate it.
I hadn't heard that before, to be honest, but it's a great way of explaining it.
Right? Like I'm happy for all my friends' successes, just like you guys are happy for my little victories, as I call them. And
bigger. I mean, I don't know what. Not little victories, man.
I call them in order to
because you're always. This is just you're on that incline.
Stepping stone.
Yeah, a stepping stone.
Right.
You're always increasing.